That's the first time I've ever done that. That's linked. Excuse me, we're a little bit compromised on mic. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's just get this thing. Hi, you beautiful people, and welcome to GetJervis's World of Synths. Synths, or is it the World of Synth? Worlds of Synth. Now, there's a sci-fi concept that nobody's thought of yet, and that's probably a good reason. Anyway, good evening. Now, if you're based in the UK, you may be experiencing a heat wave. I have my air conditioning unit on, so please let me know if that does indeed interfere with this little tete-a-tete that we're having. Anyway, I've got a very clear glass of clear liquid with ice. Oh, I'm sure it had a lump of lime in there. Let's do a few little housekeeping things. Was the volume good on the circuit track and the circuit rhythm? Was that good? Music was banging, not too distorted? Andy, gin on a hot summer's day? Am I British? Yes, it's gin. Cheers to whatever you're drinking, whether it's soft, hot, or cold, with some sort of alcoholic content. I did have a cup of tea today because a cup of tea on a hot day is nothing better, is there? So let's have a quick look at the chat, see who's in the house. Hello Lisa, Andy, how you doing? Good to see you. And some new faces there. Hey, Al, is that my, hang on, my eyes. Do I need to do this? Oh, you do need to do this. It is Al. Hello Al, welcome. And Hippopotaverse, welcome back. Tracker Jack to you too, and also to Peter Kite. Welcome aboard, sir. And Simon Greatmatch and Keith in Watford. That's a nice little gathering tonight. So obviously I cancelled last night football, and my day job this week goes crazy, so I almost didn't do anything this week. But I thought, you know what? I think we all need this in this heat. We need a little bit of something. Cheers. So, yes, Mike's a little distorted. Do you know what? I spent Saturday, most of it anyway. I did to spend some time with my family, obviously, but the time after they'd gone to bed, I spent a long time trying to sort this out. Let me just try and knock it back. And I couldn't quite get a good volume. I changed the preamp. I went from my Focusrite ISO 1, which I think was a little bit noisy. Beautiful preamp, though. Characterful, and I love it on acoustic guitar. But on voice, I prefer, I've got not a great deal of preamps, but I've got more than one. So I changed it to the Universal Audio DCS, which is a desktop console system, because I think I need a desk. Last live stream I did last week, the Synths at bedtime. Crikey, jamming in gym jams. I had a horrendous delay with, I updated the A10 Mini, and for some reason I just couldn't get rid of it when I frame corrected it, so that my lips are hopefully moving in sync with what I'm saying. So I decided to have a whole big sort of change. So it took me a long time in the day, and I did a little tidy as well. But as a result, I accidentally went live testing it out. So I thought, oh, do you know what? So I went back live again properly, and we had a bit of an impromptu live session on Saturday to try and iron out these problems. So at the beginning of this, I did turn the gain down, so I probably undid the hard work that we did then. So is that less distorted? I mean, I'm also right on top of the microphone, which usually hangs from above. I mean, what doesn't, right? The sky, the moon, the stars. So I decided to bring it here. Aesthetically, I'm a little disturbed by this. It's just in the way. I don't like it. So I may, the next time you see me, I may have 50p in the meter. I must I'll probably have done something else with this that's not quite as you know, obvious, just because it's just too in frame, and now it's too in my face. I do like the sound of a voice closely poised next to a you know, a broadcast microphone. I think that's something we're all used to, isn't it? We could do all the kind of like radio, BBC radio workshops. But yes, it does leave my hands free, and that's good. So I think that's all the kind of housekeeping. Oh, we've got battery operated orchestra in the chat room. Hello guys, I hope you both very well. It's been a long time since I saw you. When was it? Ages ago. Anyway, I hope you're both doing well. Big love to you. And yeah, and Chris said hello. So, lav mic. Yeah, do you know? Yeah, maybe it's just the easiest way to do it. I'm not that far away from the 8M, so I could actually use a good cable. And I don't know the preamps. I'm just an audio snob, you know. And I've got a nice microphone. I've got nice preamps, so I want to use them, however that looks. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know where we'll go with this, but I think I'll just somehow reposition this so that it's less in frame. It's not so noticeable when I go to the top down, which we'll do in a moment. Let me just, or is it this or is it that? I've changed my tape. We'll look at that. Oh, hang on. Let me just. This is fun too. So if we want to do some like really cool kind of like, you know, sort of dynamic shots, we can go there. But we probably won't. I mean, that's just the fact that my tabletop's a bit loose. I need a bigger table. But you know, this is what we've got to work with tonight. Oh, the Eagle transporter's back in as well. I'll put that in situ for the top down when I'm using the GoPro. Let's just let's see what that looks like. Ooh, poised. Anyway, I'm going to take another mouthful of this. It's hot work. Mm. Oh, yes. So, on to tonight's topic in the GetJervis world of synths. Groove boxes. Are they groovy? Are they? They're an odd thing, aren't they? Because before '96, they weren't a thing really. Although could you know? I mean, sequencers on synths definitely were a thing. The MC202 is testament to that, and I'm sure. Gosh, what was the Yamaha CS that had CS30, which had a huge row of bank of knobs, but again, that step sequencer built in. So I think they've been edging their way to something that's groovy. In my hands. Blake 7. We talked about Blake 7 a couple of weeks ago, and I'd heard tales. Sorry, we're off topic again. I'd heard that they were going to, you know, reboot it. There was going to be a new Blake 7. I mean, I was quite excited because I did actually watch it fairly recently. I remember it as a kid and being scared of the woman with a skinhead. But yeah, what a great spaceship as well. So maybe that'll come back. Your Avon. Oh, yeah, they see that's it. Right, so back to back to sorry, hang on, it's the glasses again. Servalan, is that what she was called? Is that what she was called? Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, Peter, I mean, you already paid tribute to possibly my favourite science fiction thing with the Forbidden Planet. That live stream was that last weekend? Should I get have I got, I don't even know if the HDMI input is working on my computer, but let's see what we can do with that later. Maybe next time I'll get a little montage of Blake 7 for the end jam or whatever. Okay, we'll figure stuff out. I'm trying to trying to sort of make things a little bit more exciting with the cameras and stuff, and I think I've been reading a bit more about what the 8M can do. So, for instance, one of the top down, I've actually figured out how to make it the size, or to leave it the size it is. rather than like last time I was scratching my head. Lex, yeah, and also Babylon 5. Watched a little thing about that, which, you know, I might revisit that. But I mean, yeah, DVD. Yeah, I don't think they'll be coming to Blu-ray anytime soon, unfortunately. Yeah, such good science fiction in that era as well, the sort of 80s, and yeah, in the 90s I think was pushing it too. I think, you know, Lex was 90s, wasn't it? Mid 90s. Anyway, yeah, I'm also a fan of Farscape. Just said it. And I think that was, you know, when the prequels, the Star Wars prequels came out, and we were all like, what is this? No. So I think Farscape paid tribute to that kind of era of science fiction with, you know, proper Muppets rather than CGI. What's going on now? The two chords at the end of Blake's 7 themes are the best. Oh, do you know, I'm not that familiar with the theme. I think I was just a little bit too young to be allowed to watch it. I don't know. The Airwick spaceship. It is, isn't it? Right. Yeah, Farscape, Babylon 5. Yeah, it's all kind of good stuff. Space 99 thing kicks. Yeah, Space 99 is, yeah, that I just 2 series though. That's all you had, apparently. Buck Rogers, 21st Century. Again, Series 1's better than Series 2. They, yeah. What was the Major called? Major Lady. Major Lady. UFO definitely rocked. The Major Lady in in Buck Rogers was really good, strong female character in the first, and really strong. And they made her weak in the second. They wrote her weak, and it's just like, we don't need, you know, it was perfect. Real good balance. He had more legs, he definitely, and teeth. Anyway, so going back to Space 1999, or Space 1996, and a little music shop called Dawson's in Chester, myself and Shay Lockyer were making ambient music through most of the 90s actually, but we'd moved from from South Wales to Bristol to North Wales. We both originated from North Wales, although we all met, including Gaz. Actually, he met Gaz it's a long story. Maybe another episode. Anyway, we went to a music shop called Dawson's in, they folded fairly recently, in Chester. And hippie as hell. I think I might have even had dreadlocks at the time. Imagine that. And there I saw my very first MC303, which was obviously sample based. And I played with that, and it was like, yeah, okay. At that time, I was using an Atari, and I had a room full of enormous synthesizers. I think I had a Korg DSS-1. What an amazing synth that was, but huge. Did I keep my Akai X7000? Did I have that at the time? Probably not. There was another sampler, maybe it was an FZ1. So I had a couple of samplers, again, keyboard ones. And, you know, analog keyboard, SH101, the Sequential Pro one, which I still have. Don't have the SH101. I think I just went off it. I did. Sacrilege, I know, but went off it. Bought an SH09, which was better. But then I felt limited. Then replaced that with a monopoly, but that was much later. So, you know, having the concept of, I've met Ian Body, yeah. Dawson's. Did he work in Dawson's in Chester? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I know, Andy, you're quite close to Chester, aren't you? I grew up in North Wales in Wrexham, so I'll just the other side of Wrexham. So I know hang on, where did you say you were from? Oh my God, don't tell me. It's up there, isn't it? Not Warwickshire, that's down here. Anyway, it'll come to me. You'll tell me anyway. Yeah, it is a W, isn't it? I know it's a W. Oh, for goodness sake. And it's on the M53, isn't it? Off the M53. It's Ellesmere Port. I'm past Ellesmere Port. Where am I going? I'm going to Warrington. Yeah, Warrington. So it was the Akai rep, of course he was. Yeah. I see Lisa just piped in with the end of it. Thank you. Oh, lots of people. Brilliant. That's fab. Yeah, so, and then fast forward, that was obviously 96. Carried on making, I think, you know, music with enormous amounts of synths. Like, I think we all had to, didn't we, right? But that concept of having a device that was, I mean, I wouldn't say portable because you had to plug it in, but I mean, you know, studio in a box that wasn't the QY10 or those kind of things. Gaz had a QY10, and I think somewhere in this computer I've got a version of a song he did called "The Snake" on the QY10. I wonder, he'd kill me. Actually, it's a really good tune. It's a really good tune. He wouldn't. But I think having this amazing, I'd rather be in cool MPC 60. Oh, yeah, North is good, isn't it? My family are all up there still, so you know I get to go up. Although I don't really go into Warrington often. Pass it on going over to Yorkshire to see my my uncle, which I haven't done for long enough. Need to see him. Right. So it wasn't until 1999. When did I start work at Sound Control? I'd moved to Bristol. I then found a job in a computer shop, the software warehouse. That closed, and I then found myself. It's not supposed to be a history, by the way. Found myself in Sound Control, teaching, you know, sort of selling high tech stuff and pro audio, which is where I got my love of preamps and expensive gear, expensive mics and stuff. And I've got stuff I don't need. Anybody want to buy Kiwi? No, I'm going to keep that one. So I then was able to take stuff home. So the version that was current then was the MC307, which had the crossfader on it. Anyway, it allowed me to sit at home and not worry about, you know, patches, sounds, volumes, to a degree. Anyway, there's still an aspect of that, I think. There was a sound control in Manchester, yeah. I had some friends there. I think did we do a training course in Manchester? I think we did a training. So we went up from Bristol to Manchester. And actually that was, I'd already, because whether you know it or not, Marco and I have from Elevator Sound have a shared history, because we both worked at Sound Control. He was in Glasgow, pro audio and high-tech seller, as I was in Bristol. And we had a little back door. Oh my God, I'm saying this now, but Sound Control doesn't exist, right? But I think it was that event in Manchester where all the pro audio managers of the stores got together for some training or something. I don't even know what it was about, to be honest. All I remember was having we had this amazing Chinese food. We did some training session on X, Y, and Z, but we bonded. And I think we'd already had a little, you know, thing going, but from that moment, we all vowed that if we had a professional, because we dealt with the professional customers, right? So you've got someone who's paid to make music and to release it, and people, you know, they don't have time to mess about because they've got an album. If they're phoning you up for a piece of kit, it's because they need it, and they don't need it next week. They need it now. So we kind of went, well, if your store has what they want, can I get you to send it to them, but then transfer it to me, but instead of transferring it to me, so you keep the sale, but they get the kit to the customer. It was genius. So yeah, so we did that. But yeah, crikey, that was again. It's history. We're doing history again. Another mouthful of maybe this is what it's is. It's the nostalgia, the drink of nostalgia, isn't it? Gin. So the good old days. So that's where I think I first really, anyway, Sound Control, the MC307, sitting at home, and I wrote a tune. It's like, wow, I don't think I would have written that on this. So what was the next Groovebox that I bought? I don't think I did. Is it still here? No, I continued with my kind of, I think I almost bought an MPC 2000, but I think it wasn't quite, there was something that, it's the work you have to put into a sampler. A sampler's only as good as the stuff that's in it, right? And of course you have to feed it. And I wasn't interested in that to a degree. I am interested in that, but not 100%. So I want to leave enough room for dessert, and I want the dessert to be mine. But I want you to provide me with your starter and your main course. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I think that's it. It's mother's ruin. Yo, mama. So I think also the heat is probably, and the fatigue that I'm feeling this week is probably kicking in. So that's why I'm rambling a bit without more tunage. There's loads and loads of good Grooveboxes, and I think the whole landscape, certainly the last 20 years, has changed in the most positive way. I think the original circuit is a stellar bit of kit. I've also got, but I think I might let it go. A digitone, which again is great, and I just don't use it. And you know, with the Electron stuff, yeah, it's such good quality kit, but you have to use it all the time, and I don't tend to find myself using it all the time. So for me, another really important fact or consideration for any Groovebox is user friendliness. So the circuit tracks I reviewed for Thomann synthesizers, and I found myself just loving how great it was, and the fact that it was rechargeable, that you could put your own samples in it, but it had synth sounds in it. So, you know, what's going on there? Why is that playing and not making any sound? There we go, some sounds. So you do have to sell yourself to Electron, you do, and you know, S, who is mainly responsible for a lot of the stuff on the digitone, is, bass. So, you know, you turn this thing on and you've got that kind of starting block, and you just think, well, that's practically. Have we got a nice? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go for synth 1. Oh, why can I not hear any? Oh, do you know what? I'm sure that there is a metronome somewhere easy to get to. Right, okay, but I'd never work like that anyway. Right, so. And I don't even know what sounds I'm actually playing with, so. Oh, wow, okay. So there doesn't seem to be any sounds unless the mix is off. No, it's on. Oh, come on, did I not? Okay, that's unfortunate. Why is there no sounds? Right, okay, so that's ruined that little thing, isn't it? Really? Anyway, that's horrible. Sorry, I've done that. Again, it wouldn't really. So, for me, I should use the top down then, shouldn't I? Being able to do that from like nothing is important. I think a lot of us have a lot of creativity that's kind of stuck inside us, and I think sometimes you kind of approach this stuff, and occasionally it doesn't work. It just doesn't do it. And also being in this environment, it's kind of, you know, kind of is right. I'm coming in to do some music, and then that almost becomes its own block, where you're kind of like going, well, okay, so do I take the Delta Sep, or shall I just, oh, do you know, I haven't played the Pro 3 for a while. You play a couple of songs, and then suddenly you're walking at the studio. That can happen. It doesn't happen every time, but it can happen. Whereas this, your voice is my voice is very faint. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm going to try and pump it back up again. Is that better? Is it just because it was distorting earlier? Robert, is that better? But I'm also I also get a little bit more quiet. Is that good? Tracks and rhythm, yes. Yes, fantastic. Muted. Oh, what's muted? Andy, am I muted? Or am I better? Is it good? I'll just take a moment to take on board some more water. Oh, it's you. Anyway, so for me, having that, I still don't know why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly save that, because I quite like that. Who knows where we'll go with that, but I don't know why Synth 2. Oh, maybe it's just a simple case of... Oh, for goodness sake. I don't know what it's doing, but that's... So I don't know where this track's come from. I've threw some samples in here, I think. Did I? Let's just make sure I'm on the right pack. Yeah. So this is the... Oh, it's not the sofa one, is it? It's not the that's the sofa one. This is the something else. Anyway, so you get these. I think there's 3. There's only 3, apparently, that are provided by Novation. There's loads for this. Okay, I'll go top down. Let's go top down. Should we do that? Ooh, I don't know what did I start there? Got to be starting something. Right, let's get into it. Okay, so, oh, if I do this, can I just point out these patch cables here and this aren't bloody MyVolts brilliant? I mean, I was like, oh, I need a short cable to go from there to there. And I'm thinking like, oh, I've got some patch cables which I use on my guitar pedal board. It's like, I wonder if, and I managed to have a couple spare that were shorter and actually worked. So it's like, they perfectly fit. You know, you need a little bit of that, but I mean, you know, look at the colour, beautiful. So anyway, I have, right. So these are the sounds that is that volume good enough? So you kind of get all this kind of stuff to start with. So I mean, I don't need to do anything else. I can actually make these, like I say, that weird tune. I think I probably had that on my, you know, one of those moments where you think, I just want to take, again, back to the studio versus anywhere else. And I'm pretty sure I've taken, don't take this the wrong way, but I've taken both of them to bed. Not at the same time. But maybe I will now. I think I'd need a sort of tray. I think you can get them in IKEA with a little breakfast. Anyway, am I getting ahead of myself? Yeah, MyVolts. Anyway, and I think I just did that, just you know, kind of half an hour before bed, just to wind down. You know, really, really fantastic. Both of them. I think a battery powered pair of headphones, job done. Now, obviously, for the I mainly played with this. Was it last night I came up with that? But I thought I'd just chuck some samples in. So that's most of these sounds all usable. And then, of course, you can put your own stuff in, he says. Oh, it's not put it in there. Okay, I had put some samples. Maybe I need to... Maybe it's that one. Please bear with me while we load the packs in. Oh, patterns, no.
Ancient ancestors stand beside you.
It's my friend Natalie.
Keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Answer the call. Oh, it's so sweet. What is your soul calling you to do? What is
So suddenly, you've got a great starting block.
Answer the call. You're not alone.
So you can see what's happening here. So you've got a good starting point with, you know, some professionally sampled and thrown in, but it's not difficult these days to fill it with your own samples. You know, back to everything always sounds a little sci-fi. I think I'm generally always writing a sci-fi theme for something. That's a bit slow though. Right. Okay. So you know you get the picture.
Don't dim your light.
So the idea here was to see. I mean, these aren't. Both of them are under 400 quid, right? So it's 370 quid each, I think. I think with this setup, you've pretty much got everything you need, both of them. And the beauty of having two external MIDI tracks, and we did a jam the other week with this, and I had it going out to the Delta Sepe and the Soulsby at Megatron, but for some reason I couldn't get the at Megatron to trigger from here, and I think it was MIDI issues I was having, but I need to revisit that because I need to give that some air. What a fabulous little synth. Yeah, about 12 decibels. That's a lot, isn't it? Oh, crikey. Right, maybe my samples are quiet. Let's just do a little bit of this. So let's go back to the tune here.
How y'all doing?
Or is my mic really quiet?
How y'all doing?
Okay. Yeah. Loud.
How y'all doing?
Okay.
How y'all doing?
All right. Okay. Am I loud? Your mic gone when the music is playing. Yeah. Do you know I need to put in side chain? I think. Can you gain it post preamp? Yeah, I can, and I kind of did. Let's just see what happens. Yeah. Okay. So maybe.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Okay, how's that? Is that any better? Okay, does that sound better? Again, I think music is 10 decibels higher than your mic. So is it palatable? The problem I've got is that I'm monitoring my mic separate because I've still got a delay, which is actually, oh hello. Why is that? Oh no, I'm fiddling now. And I think my DCS remote preamp, I think there's an issue where it's kind of the volume of the headphone, the knob needs a bit of a clean. So I'm going to need to take that apart. Oh, is that better? Oh, I think I've turned my mic down. That's what it is. Okay, it's fine. So, okay, I'm fine. So, are we happy with that? Right. So, oh, let's go to track 3. Oh, there it is. Oh, did you see? That's it. There it is. That's the AirCon. And what's that? That's the microphone. Oh, okay. So, there it is. Oops, no, it's not quite. Where were we? We were there. Okay, let's go back to that. That's it. Okay. So, I guess you don't monitor. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's feeling a bit seasick. I like that. It's kind of like a little, kind of cheeky little. Was it Peter Gabriel that put it? No, do you know what it is? It's the film Pi, where they were all walking around with a sort of a steady cam pointing at themselves, but the steady cam was locked to their body, so you get this really weird perspective. Okay, so Table Twister. I think that's my drum and bass name, right? Table Twister. Oh, that's the album. GetJervis does drum and bass, Table Twister. That could happen. It could. Right. So the circuit rhythm versus circuit track. I think we kind of know this. Clint Mansell, yes. And of course, Clint Mansell was a big part of Pop Police itself. And they did, didn't they? They ate themselves. Very successful film composer these days. And of course, the soundtrack, or was that Requiem for a Dream, which had the, now I can't remember what they're called, the string quartet that did the Metallica album. Oh, for God's sake, come on. Apocalypse. Is it Apocalypse? I'm just saying that. Anyway, let's talk about this. So, do it. Right. That's quite annoying that I'm now running through the cable. Again, this is another beauty of the system, is that I've got one stereo pair going out into the mixer, and that's the master volume. And if I bring this in, that mixes it into here. Or does it, because I've got nothing. Kronos Quartet, thank you. Yes. Yes. I think there's a slight discrepancy of tone there. But if I wanted to bring down the volume of the circuit tracks, it also does the circuit rhythm. So as a frustrating, it almost needs to be separate. Novation, I know you're listening. Can we have that, please? All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. That's in a completely different key. Okay, so verses. So you saw that let's get this. So this is polyphonic. And of course, because it's got MIDI in, although I'm using it with the circuit rhythm, you can probably drive it with the keyboard. Of course, you can drive it with the keyboard. I don't know probably about it. So that's a beauty. So for triggering external, I mean, I think an obvious partner would be the Nymphis, and I've got the thing is the Nymphis is USB powered, isn't it? And I think I need to have a conversation with the people at MyVolts and figure out if their new stuff eliminates that horrendous kind of like USB noise that you can get with things like that. Chaos Pad, Chaos DJ. Okay, 5-pin for the win always. Anyway, so you've got 4 synth channels. And 4 drums, and of course these are monophonic tracks. So, you know, like you could with you can have a different sound on every single square, which is good. So you can make a really interesting drum pattern. So you can do stuff with those. And of course, because they're called drums, but they're samples. So they're sampler 1, sampler 2, sampler 3, and sampler 4, and they're monophonic. So that's that. And again, it works. You've got kind of some rudimentary control over each sound. So the synth, for instance. I mean, it is good, isn't it? It sounds digital, but not in a bad way. Yeah, very Nova. Well, I think it is a Nova. It is a Nova engine, isn't it? And I mean, I sold so many Novas and Supernovas back in the day. I mean, but they've got a bit of kudos these days, right? But you know, well, that's another influence of mine. Is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and I'm thinking, Waiting Room. Which again was a lot to do with Brian Eno. So these are quiet samples. I think maybe that's Natalie, forgive me. So circuit tracks expands the circuit universe with the extra MIDI MIDI tracks. I do think 32, steps. 32 steps. That water's definitely working. 32 steps is not quite enough for some of the sort of sequences I want to do, but you can chain patterns, and I think that's sidechain. Wow. Yeah. So the beauty of.
Don't do that. He wants me to record stuff for him.
This is stuff that I think one of the last tours that I did as a roadie. I got our truck driver and actually JT, who was a fellow road traveller for many years, to say some stuff. Well, actually, JT turned up whilst I was taking sound bites from Bud, our truck driver from Alabama. He had a fantastic voice.
He wants me to record stuff for him.
You can't just walk away from that, can you?
Took a right, but I should take a left.
That's JT.
How y'all doing? How your mama doing?
Oh, there you go.
Took a right, but I should take a left.
And then JT just.
Don't do that chili was good.
We were just chatting, and I was still recording, and I don't know.
Don't do that chili was good.
I think we were talking about something. I don't know who we were touring with. Was it Allman Brothers, maybe, at that time?
Even sound bites?
And that's, yeah. And that's someone's walkie-talkie. And then, somehow we were in a casino. I'm not sure, but I think that's Brendan. He won like $8,000 off the slot machine. Oh, maybe. It doesn't sound like it.
I've been up 180, but I'm still up 70. That's okay.
No, I think that's, I don't know, maybe that's something else, but he won an enormous amount of money, and they took him to a room, and then he came back with a lot less than he won. Casinos, right? So anyway, I mean, the beauty of this then now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. He wants me. How y'all doing? How your mama? You didn't sound bite. How your mama?
Right, I'm going to take that sample. So you go to sample and hello, steady.
How your mama doing?
And You've got that kind of... Right, so let's trim it a little bit. I think this... We're back to 1982, right? Maybe it's out of tune, so... I don't have a tuner to... He says, I don't have a tuner to hand. They're everywhere. Don't have one plugged in is more to the point. Cheers, bud. Of course. Sorry, I'm losing the... Where did that snare come from? Oh, it was over here. Right, stop. No. Whoa. Right. Okay, it's nice, but it's not what I was after. Oh. Okay. Right, sorry, I'm getting carried away with that side of things, but I'm losing the chat. What's going on? They go out of sync. Oh, what's going on? Lisa, talking about your first video with original circuit and DeepMind 12. Yeah, I must watch that too, Peter. I definitely think I should dive in there. Oh, YouTube's a funny thing, and I think I haven't made a feature for a couple of weeks, and I think it's all about shorts, features, live streams, and I think once a week, which is what I'm doing, and I'm determined to do that, to keep doing that. It's all good, but it's not enough. I mean, I don't know, unless you're professional and you're doing something that will actually, generate revenue. It's very difficult for us normal folk who've got a day job and maybe, families that need our attention and time and love to do this. So there's a real balance, and I think I'm striking a balance at the moment, and I'm happy with that. But yeah, I do need to sort of figure out how I include features, and I've got a couple of ideas which are hopefully less. I'm being very quiet, but that will be less time consuming. Like I said, if I've got a video coming to do for tone and synthesizers, and I know that's going to be it's going to take a lot more time than I would put into maybe something I do for myself, but I enjoy that aspect of it as well. So it's again finding that balance, and it's finding quality, time, and obviously I'll get paid for the one for Toman, so that's incentive enough to work harder, right? Because you get money. But if you're doing it for yourself, then it's like, well, you need to strike the balance between all those factors to make sure that you're left at the end of it not feeling like, well, I mean, a lot of my videos on this channel, I've got very low views, and some of them I've put a lot of work into. I mean, the one I did sampling chunk with the circuit rhythm, under 500 views I think at the moment, and that's kind of crazy. You think I spent a long time on that, but you know, you can't think like that. And I think, Lisa, that's what you kind of got caught up with when you get this enthusiasm and you go in and the results back aren't as, you know, aren't as rewarding, perhaps. You got to do it for yourself, I think. Or do it to get paid and then be paid for it. I mean, people like DivKid and Molar, obviously they're doing videos and they are being sponsored to do those videos, so they are making revenue directly before they get to you know, YouTube, and that's the way to do it. You know, if you're gonna make a career out of it. Anyway, I hate YouTube Shorts. I need to do something about my characters, and YouTube Shorts is a perfect vehicle for that. But I prefer Reels on Insta. I don't know why. I mean, it's the same thing, right? The Reels I did last year from my 3 questions from Super Booth, much better traction on Instagram than on YouTube. I don't know. Oh yeah, well that's it as well. Yeah, I've got stupid fast broadband, so, you know, fibre. I'm out of my contract, so I might go for even faster. I'm not going to get to a gig though, that's silly money. But it's there. So sorry, Lisa, it's not good, is it? Simon, it is all about stringing sentences. It is. Yeah, paid to talk. It does help. The beauty of these two things, as we back to the I can hear myself echo. I'm going to just turn myself up a little bit there, so I'm overriding the echo. I think if I go to the quiet mode, the sort of the Whispering Bob Harris mode, 3 a.m. in the morning, and we've got our Grooveboxes out. Actually, that sounds more like sort of commentating for some sort of weird farm sort of. And we're now watching young Bobby wrestling sheep. Bobby's come from a long line of wrestlers, and sheep was his definite thing. But yeah, sorry, that's gone weird. Who'd have thought it? So we were going to make something out of bud, weren't we? So let's go back to patterns, and let's go, and we'll start. There's nothing here. I think I shortened bud on the. See, again, even if you drop a single note in, echoing back to those times when we didn't want multi-gig, you know, rumplers. And actually, that single note has got something that you can't get when you multi-sample. Give me grit. Give me artifacts. So, I do have, and I will do something with it, 2 older synths from a modern vintage, I'd like to say, that I would probably like to get on the desktop at some point. The Microwave XT, but it's in a shocking condition. I don't even know how many knobs it's got left. They're just... Oh, this is going to fall. It's going to... Look at the state of that. It was dark grey, and that powdery stuff. I don't want to get it over there, but that's, you know, it's not good. And more often than not, they'll just crumble in my hand. So I might have to just... I mean, I know they do stuff. And the front panel has got like this same kind of white powdery sheen over the top of the orange, which is a shame because, yeah, I love orange. Hence the chair. So, what's we got? What have I missed? Yeah, sorry, Lisa. So, you need 100 subs to stream. Oh, is that right? I didn't even think. Yeah, God. Oh my goodness. 50. That's still, you know, for It's still a thing. I remember I was on really low numbers for a long, long time. Well, I think I was on 83 when I got the gig with Toman, and yeah, that kind of what's doing to my shoulders? Like, literally doing a little weird man shoulder. I've got no neck. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, and like I say, you just got to keep doing it, and you've got to do it. Oh, I'll sub to your hippopotamus. I am clearly, yes, there. So, I was hoping that was going to be that doorbell. Why is it doing that? Right. So these are the samples that you get in that pack. So if you were, wanting to buy into this, I would probably suggest the rhythm first, and then you expand to the tracks to give you external sequences and polyphonic stuff. Where's my bud gone?
How y'all doing?
There we go. Right. Okay. So, wow. I think GetJervis. Yeah, it is the heat. I promise you, and the exhaustion. Not necessarily. I would hope. I am Welsh and of northern stock. That does mean Viking blood. But I think the exhaustion of today. Right, Viking. I'm 5'6". Who am I kidding? Well, anyway. So, yeah. So, has anybody else in the chat-averse got any favourite groove boxes that they've owned or still own that gives them something that they can't get anywhere else? Let's have a look what you've got, guys. Timothy Birmingham. Who is Timothy Birmingham? Hi. Hang on. All right, my name's Timothy Birmingham. I'm from Wolverhampton. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? Timothy Birmingham. That sounds like a good channel. Everyone's looking. Yeah, please use the chat to put links in there. Andy's never had a Groovebox. You've got a wall of modular there, right? And some cool old synths. Yamaha DJX, the box version. That was a crazy box, wasn't it? 707. Yeah. MPC, yeah. 707, the MC 707. I haven't owned a Roland for a very long time. Actually, I got to figure out how to do this, and I think I can mount somehow. I will make a table, Jesus Christ, that's got rack mountable like rails in it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it right. So I can. I've got a JV 1080, which I haven't really used, and I think that's perfect fodder for this world of synths. Just as a, and also there's the Wave Station SR. Again, they're just in racks, never to be seen or played with. And then I've got the S5000 and the FZ10M. So I've got rack gear that could do with seeing the light of day and being played with in front of an audience. Or 1010 black box. Do you know I had a black box for review, and then it just broke, and I've got half a feature, but the screen just, I tried to solve it myself, and anyway. But yeah, it's a great machine. MC505, 307, yeah, okay, yeah. See, that's it. That's, again, it's the thing, isn't it? Love the FZ10, yeah. The FZ10 synthesis as well. I mean, it's not just a sampler, right? It's a beastly synthesizer. That needs, I mean, geez, I mean, talk about kit in this room. And I mean, we've all had kit, right? We've all had really nice, good quality. Welcome, Richard. You are, but it's, you know, you're fine. I might, no, I think I've had enough gin. But, yeah, cheers anyway. I will raise my empty glass and, yeah. That's not the sort of ASMR we want, is it? So, yeah. So I think that's the joy of these wonderful boxes. They just allow us to create without the complexity, and can sometimes choice isn't a good thing. I do believe that. If you listen to, I love Jar, and if you listen to Oxygen and Equinox, I'm pretty sure he was using the same kit throughout. And if you think about that in terms of, you know, like a rock band or any other kind of pop band, you have a set of musicians playing instruments, and those instruments have a particular sound, and that is the sound of the band. So what Jar did was he had a set of instruments, and he used them each for their own strengths, and that was what made those albums so, and I think, you know, almost bookend them in a way, because you can't, I've tried to go from, you know, Oxygen to Oxygen 2 or what, no, actually it's not Oxygen 2, is it? It's Oxygen 7. Is it, oh, what was the 90s Oxygen? And it just, there's something missing, because it's not, if he's playing the same instruments, he's not playing them in the same way, and the recordings maybe digital or whatever, it just doesn't flow. Third Oxygen release is definitely better, but it's not like the original. I actually like the second Equinox, but I think he's left that long enough to be able to, but again, it doesn't have the same sound because he's not using the same synth. So to get back to that original thing, you know, it's about having a set of instruments you use. So have I gone off topic? What are we talking about? How did I hang on. How did we get here? Welcome to GetJervis, World of Synths, where we talk a lot about synths, a lot about science fiction, and a lot about beverages. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. I've just created a short for YouTube. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about being spontaneous and doing those things, and actually having, again, back to Lisa's comment about, you know, sort of like doing a couple of videos and then giving up. Is like, I don't think most of us have the sort of natural ability to sort of, or natural, it's not ability, because we've all got ability. I don't know what the word is. That kind of sass and pluck, we'll use the word pluck, that pluck that will allow us to sort of big up ourselves in a way that's kind of like feels, oh, hang on, I don't know what I'm saying now. You know, we don't all think, right, okay, I'm going to do this, and that. Maybe it's a more business kind of oriented, oh, it's an American word, a business orientation of kind of YouTube tactics, tactics to promote yourself. I think I always find it a bit tricky. Anyway, I am really waffling on. It's hot in here, even with my aircon, and I'm wearing a good linen, you know, collarless sort of shirt. This is my that's my cult leader look. If you ever needed one, this is the shirt to buy. You know, where are we then? Yeah, I think so. So I think that was what we were talking about. We were talking about oh no, I've lost it now. What was it? And the days go by. No episode would be complete without me singing something. Elisa's data thingy for the live MIDI. So that I think I remember those. They were just a way of spitting out data so that you could sequence with it. So you do your sequence at home comfortably, and then you could take out and I remember. Is it floppy drive? Moxie. Yeah, Moxie maybe is the word. Yeah, there's a definite kind of sort of confidence in promotion, in self-promotion, that I think is difficult for most of us to sort of accept. It's not very British, is it? And I think that might be it. Shotgun Shack. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 1988 in a common room. It hasn't really changed. It's still the same pair of idiots that we were, with a little bit more, experience and along the way. But yes, I've gone over my hour. I have gone over my hour, so I'm going to wrap this up because I like to keep things succinct, and it's a school night. But so look for the future. So these are amazing machines that allow me to create, to take a starting block and then to do, take a couple of extra samples, and I will play out with the tune that I.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Brilliant. I think you could record those as well. Anyway, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think it's a. Thanks, Philip. I take that's your name. It's spoonerized, Philip Dunbar. Yeah. So look for the future. Where? In the past. Look for the future in the past. Science fiction is about the past, isn't it? As the Matrix told us. Yeah. So it is that. So I'll finish off playing those, but I think the next couple of sessions I might try and figure out. I mean, I've got a bit more time. My day job, will allow me a bit more time over the summer. So I think I will take some time off and maybe construct the table of delights. Trip to IKEA, some legs, and a tabletop that I'll probably jigsaw the top out of, lay some rack rails, so we can have a nice top-down view of the. Let's just for those of you who want a bit of tabletop fun, let's do that a bit more. I think I have to keep that in for this one. I might, you need like one of those rotating tabletops, but anyway, that kind of, there's not too much about that. So yeah, we got some stuff. We got some more stuff in the pipeline, and I was going to say that I do have some kit, and we talked about the wave station. We talked about the microwave. We talked about the JV 1080. What we didn't talk about was the Ensoniq ASQ-R10, which I've got, which needs a little bit of love, so I'll get that on the workbench. I might do a video on that, actually, just to sort of say, hey, here's this thing for playing with. Yeah, and that is pretty much the last sampler they made, and it's a giant size. It's probably 4 times the size of the circuit track and the circuit rhythm, and I've got the sound card in it as well, that sort of that has all those kind of like 90s dance, well, it was noughties, but kind of 90s noughties kind of dancey kind of sounds. Yeah, and it's a resampler apparently, but we'll get that on the table. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of a 5-minute fade out. Thank you for joining me, and let's do this, and I'll see you next week on a Tuesday. Yeah, let's do Tuesday again. I wonder if there's an easy way of muting this without... can I just do that?